So, welcome everyone to the Murli Club. So, today Baba has a very special Murli for us. Especially, Baba is focusing on the methods of service, or what should be our stage so that we gain success in the area of service. Service has always been an integral part of Brahman life. It is one of the subjects, the four subjects, and this Murli exclusively deals with the kind of stage which we need to maintain while we come into the area of service. So there was a group in front of Baba who was from Mumbai, and they were planning a conference. So probably this was the first big conference after Brahma Baba became a Vyakt. And this group was taking direction from Baba as to what should they, which factors they should take in mind while organizing this conference. So whatever points Baba has mentioned in this Murli, these points are very much relevant even today. So some of us or most of us would be involved in some or the other seva. May that be a conference, may that be a talk at your local center or at any other office premises. And for that matter, even not even godly service, even for the matter while we do our lokic business meetings or conferences. So as we read the Murli, just try to check in that what modifications we might need to do in our current format of service. And there will be a lot of jewels you will identify from this Murli. So also mark this date, 23rd of January 1970. I think this is very much relevant any big event which we plan. I think if we try to go through this Murli once, it will really bring a lot of difference in our service, and we'll gain a very good success. Because always we measure success as a external factor, but it also becomes a balance of internal and external both together. So yes, this Murli will be reading in two parts. First part will be today, and tomorrow we'll go through like Baba meeting different parties and also application of Lokik, making a Lokik alokik. So that part probably we might read tomorrow. So let us start the Murli. 23rd January 1970, methods to attain success in service. I hope my screen is visible. Do you experience being compelled to speak simply because of service? When service finishes, the stage of coming into sound will also finish. So this is one measure which Baba is mentioning. Probably while we are into service, we might come into sound. For example, now that I'm doing the service of reading Murli, I'm coming into sound. But the stage of coming into sound will also finish once the service finishes. So this is something which I need to check, that after completion of service, me coming into sound also gets finished or not. A party from Mumbai was taking directions from Bap Dada about a conference that was to take place there. What speciality is needed in the service that you are doing nowadays? You have been giving lectures for many years anyway. But what avyakt consciousness do you now have to fill the lectures with, so that while you are speaking, everyone has the experience that you are speaking in a bodiless stage beyond sound? So this is one thing which Baba asks us to ponder upon. me repeat the question again. What awake consciousness do you now have to fill the lectures with, so that while you are speaking, everyone has the experience that you are speaking in a bodiless stage? Hmm? We are speaking into bodiless stage beyond sound. This is the kind of experience which Baba wants us to give to the target audience. Now, there should be this newness in the conference. Those speakers should appear to be visibly different from the Brahmin speakers, even from a distance. Only then will the conference be successful. We all might have seen that whenever dadis or anyone for that matter attends any conference, may that be at a different location or at our Mount Abu, so there would be very different speakers. Some could be a judge, some could be politicians. But when dadis speak, no matter they might not be that much educated as others would be, but they create a very different impact to the audience in comparison to others who just give a talk. And probably that is because of what Baba has highlighted above, speaking in a bodiless stage beyond sound. So Baba is asking us, those speakers should appear to be visibly different from the Brahmin speakers, even from a distance. When Baba says even from a distance, probably even before we speak, or even if we are on the dais, or probably off the dais if you are walking, we should be seen very different from the other speakers. Only then will the conference be successful. Even if a new person comes into the gathering, he should have the feeling, even from a distance, that the speaker is a unique person. Others have the power of speech that simply remains a pleasure for the ears. However, whatever you say with stable in an awake stage, while being stable in an awake stage, should not only be pleasing to the ears, but it should also be pleasing to the mind. We might have seen so many motivational speakers on YouTube who do a lot of voice modulation, who do a lot of storytelling, who exaggerate on specific words, and that is no doubt so much pleasing to the ears that a very good amount of brainwashing can be done. But for us, not only pleasing to ears means that is something which we have to do, no doubt, but more than that, what Baba wants us to do is pleasing to the mind. So these are some points which, whatever I'm probably underlining, which we might need to do deep churning. What is it that we might have to change the service so that these things get into the area? There are many who relate things that simply please the ears, but until now, there has been no one in the world who can give that sweetness to the mind. The Father has revealed Himself to you children, but you children now have to be revealed to the world outside. So we have to get revealed to the world outside. So this conference should not take place in an ordinary way. Also mention in the meeting that the pictures should also seem to be alive, just as the living being makes the corporeal feelings clear. In the same way, the pictures should become alive and grant visions. When a picture is lifelike, it reveals real feelings and is liked by everyone. So now Baba has gone into the shoes of the artists. So we have been seeing that if a picture depicts a life object or a lively thing, that picture gains attention of so many. So that is what Baba is telling, probably even if you use pictures for service, that should be lifelike. It is not a question of superficial art, but with the superficial, the intent, that is inner feelings, should be portrayed, should be the same. Baba Dada wishes to see this newness. Speaking less should in itself perform a great task. Speaking less should itself perform a great task. This is the system and custom of Brahmins. So again, the more we speak, the number of hours we make a speech, that is, the quantity is not what Baba is asking us to focus on. But while we speak less, if we are able to perform a great task in those fewer words, that Baba mentions as the system and custom of Brahmins. Pay attention to how you can make this conference unique. So whenever we organize any service programs, rather than benchmarking our programs to the outside world or to other conferences, we can think how this one can be unique. What unique experience could the participants take from this conference? There should be subtle life in the images too, so that people are able to feel that from a distance. Otherwise, how will so many subjects be created? The subjects that are created are not created just through words, but through the internal stage. Only that is called the experience of internal happiness. So, subjects means praja. Even if you want to create praja subjects, that is not just by words. Something should help them change their internal stage. They should gain experience of internal happiness. Only then will they become our subjects. All of you have seen the result up to now of how those who come through the awake stage have continued to move along easily from the beginning and are free from obstacles. However, it is seen that those who have continued to move along on the basis of something else, as well as the awake stage, have had many obstacles and difficulties, etc. So, what is Baba asking us to see? That while we have been practicing the awake stage, but if we start mixing something else, then we start getting obstacles or difficulties and have had to make hard effort. Therefore, now create such subjects who, on the basis of the foundation of an awake stage, easily attain their aim in a short time. To the extent that you remain an easy effort maker and in an awake, powerful stage, so you will be able to make others similar to yourself. So again, Baba is asking us to maintain the awake, powerful stage. The more we maintain this stage ourselves, the more we make it easy for others to do. So we shall now see the result of this conference. The conference can be on any topic, but your stage should be of the top level. So it means that again the topic may not be that relevant, or it is not that important what the topic could be, but what is important is our stage, sthiti should be of the top level. If your stage is of the top level, you can adjust the topic accordingly. Success is not dependent on the lectures, but on your stage. Again, very important. Success is not dependent on the lectures, but on your stage. Interesting. Lectures mean bring an expert in the use of language, and there are many such people in the world. But you are the only ones who will give the experience of power within the soul. So Baba asks that lectures anybody can give in the world, but the experience of power within the soul only we children can do. So you now have to bring about this newness. So going forward, whenever we prepare for any conference, any lectures, some of us would not be even giving lectures. We might have some other seva, for example, distributing some toolies or inviting guests, doing seating arrangement. So rather than focusing on that task, of course, that task is important. But more than that, I think what Baba wants us to focus on the stage, focus on our uh, inner world, the power within the soul. That kind of newness, if we bring, that will do more seva than what physical seva we might be doing, probably that of giving lectures. When you perform any task, that's why I mentioned any task, it need not be just lectures. It is first essential to make the atmosphere settle. Just as you pay attention to all the other decorations, in the same way, this is the main decoration. What is the main decoration? To make the atmosphere settle. सूक्ष्म बनाना वातावरण को. However, what happens in that while you are moving along, there is too much extroversion. Therefore, because of that large atmosphere, you do not have the result that you want. You people think a great deal. We will do this, we will do this, we will do it like this. But at the last moment, while seeing the task, you come into extroversion. I will just pause here and we can just ponder upon. Many times it so happens in service that we miss on some of our checklist. Probably we are running late. Probably we might not have done something. And we are so busy in making those things into order that it is very natural, or maybe we easily come to the extroversion. But that is not what Papa wants. I was just listening to the service which earlier used to happen when dadis used to go to different halls and give sessions. They used to go over there an hour before, or maybe more than 30 minutes. And more than 30 minutes, they used to just spend there doing intense meditation, preparing their stage. Not the physical stage, their inner stage. And only after that would they really go on the physical stage and give a talk. So that kind of attention, how much we still carry just before the event. But if before the event, if we come into this extroversion, I'm not sure we will be able to really maintain that kind of stage which Baba wants us to. So let me just read what Baba tells us what happens. I just start from however, what happens in that while you are moving along, there is too much extroversion. Therefore, because of the last atmosphere, you do not have the result that you want. You people think a great deal. We will do this, we'll do it like this. But at the last moment, while seeing the task, you come into extroversion. Anyway, those who listen say at that time that it is very good, but then they too very quickly become extrovert. Again, so there is an argument which we can make that Baba, even if we come extroversion, probably we get a huge applause from people. People appreciate the seva. Baba is acknowledging that, but what Baba is adding to that? I'll just read this again. Anyway, those who listen say at that time that is very good, but then they too very quickly become extroverted. Hmm. So a very simple check what we can do is like even after our session, after that service or whatever we do, people are able to maintain the same stage even as they are leaving the hall premises. That means our program is success. But after the program, if even they come into extrovert, they start doing the talks and they come into so much of volume that probably they have just attended a Loki conference and not a BK conference. I remember while sorry actually I'm adding some examples, but I think they are relevant so that we get the context here. So we had Sister Shivani program at Jagdamba Bhavan a couple of years back, and there was a huge gathering. We had almost 2,700 plus people coming here for that thing, and there was a huge chaos. Like because morning time it's okay, people come at different points of time, but while going, people will go at the same time. And there is just one road which is leading to Jagdamba. There are not multiple roads, and that one road is also very narrow. And imagine 2,700 people coming, they parking their vehicle, and once they get out of the parking, there will be so much of chaos. So, what Shivani Bahan did is that while she was conducting a talk, she made the participants go into a stage of reflection, and she told them that that stage needs to be maintained not only till the end of that talk, but till the time they reach home. And she told that nobody will speak to each other. And she gave that as a challenge. And with that thing, she ended her talk. Means even while she was ending the talk, she told them that in this meditative atmosphere, you should be leaving the hall, you should be leaving the premises, and nobody will be talking to each other. And due to that, 2,700 people even could leave the hall. We have a big amphitheater at the backside because 2007, so that can accommodate around 3,500. So it was almost full. So one by one, each line left the hall with that kind of silence. They went to the parking, they removed their vehicles, and no chaos was there. So, that kind of state she took the people into. So it was not easily for them, it was not possible for them to easily come into that extrovert stage. I just recalled this. So what Baba is telling that if we lack this introversion, if we come into extroversion ourselves, probably listen will say at that time that it is very good, but they will quickly come into extrovert stage. This is why you should have such a program that anyone who comes first experiences the subtle influence. This is the method for success of the conference. You will have to create this atmosphere a few days prior to the conference. Okay? Now Baba is asking us when to do this. This is not probably on the day of conference. Of course, we have to do it on the day of conference, but this thing should be done few days in advance. I remember once when we had this thing called as Global Festival or a mega program, and we prepared a commentary. I still have that commentary. If anybody is interested, I can share that. So we prepared a 10 minutes commentary and we shared that across all the centers in Pune. And we told everyone that every day after the Murli class, each center should be practicing that meditation, that visualizing that ground and people coming, knowing the Supreme Father, and the entire program becoming a huge success. And we started that almost a month back. And due to this, we had a very good success rate into that conference, that Mela. We had long back, I believe in the year 2008 or something, we did that. Even we did a couple of conferences later. So this is again something which we can plan few days in advance prior to the conference. It isn't that you have to create it on just that day. Only when you purify the atmosphere will the newness be visible. Come on. Only when you purify the atmosphere, the newness will be visible. What does purify the atmosphere mean? This is something which we need to take for our contemplation. You were able to see the spirituality in the corporeal body, even from a distance. Were you not? So there should be spirituality visible in the corporeal bodies of the children. If the result of the press conference is good, you can go ahead with the conference. But you first have to meet them and make them your helpers. So somebody might have asked that Baba, we have been organizing a press conference as well. Before the event, generally people do, so that the press reporters get an idea, what is the event about. So Baba is asking us that first we need to meet them and make them your helpers. This is very essential. It makes a lot of difference whether you make them do something at the time of need or you make them your helpers before the time of need. Very important. Many times we approach people only when we need them. But even before we need them, if you try to make them helpers, that will have a very different impact. Mostly attention is paid at the appropriate time. Now, if you keep the line of your intellect clear, everything will become clear. Just as in your exhibition, you receive an answer when you put the switch on. In the same way, when the line of effort is clear, as soon as you press the switch of thoughts, that too happens practically, you will continue to have such an experience. Baba is asking us to press the switch of thoughts. Practically, you will continue to have such an experience. You simply need the power to control waste thoughts. Because of having waste thoughts, whether you call it an original inspiration from Bap Dada or a pure response you receive, they become mixed. Because there are too many waste thoughts. If you have the power to control wasteful thoughts, you will be able to see that response clearly. So again, this is something which we need to check not only on the day of event, but also otherwise. If you are able to control the waste thoughts. Because imagine at the day of event, so many thoughts come that we had planned this is not happening, that Sevadar has not reached. Is the guest really contacted? Where are the bouquet? Is the candle available for candle lighting? What is the agenda? Where, there are so many thoughts which comes, and this simply eats up our stage. So again, this is something for us to check. In the same way, if the intellect is a translate, then every response becomes clear and accurate, not mixed. Those who do not have wasteful thoughts can increase their awake stage a lot more. You should have pure thoughts, but you must also have the power to control them. In the majority of you, the storms of wasteful thoughts are greater. So Baba is no doubt wanting us to have pure thoughts, but at the same time, we should have the power to control the waste thoughts as well. Hmm? So I'll just read a last paragraph. This is something which is relevant, and then we can pause for the day. Before you begin a task, a very good example is created. Keep the sample of this conference in front of everyone. Give the experience of what the awake stage is. Everyone should see the clock of the time in your activity. You are going as the clock of time. Just as Sakar Baba became the clock of time, in the same way, while having a body, you have to strike the hour of the awake stage. This is the best service of all. You have to teach everyone the practical lesson of the experience of the awake stage while in the corporeal body. Acha. So here is where the main Murli ends. After this, as I mentioned, Baba is also asking us now to become, how to see that I am the bead of the rosary, how to apply the service ideas into Lokik stage as well, and Baba is meeting some groups. So that portion of the Murli we can continue tomorrow. So let us pause here and reflect for a minute what Baba has for us to contemplate upon today, and then later we can start the sharings. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Yes, we can start sharing now. So I see Rakhi Ben writing, top stage creates topic and not the other way around. So we always think that the good topic which we have that will attract people, no doubt that is good for the flyer and all, but more than that is what Baba is asking us to have a stage. Yes, anyone else would like to add on what Baba has to say today?
Om Shanti, Bhai Sahib. My takeaway point will be, I will stay alert on minimizing my wasteful thoughts and maximizing my pure and powerful thoughts. Plus, just I need clarification. as you just explained with example. Let us say I am going to share Baba Shrimat with my friends, with my family circle. And there are 100 people in that circle. And 50% people, they are against me. They are not willing to listen to me at all. And 50% are saying, okay. So Baba is saying, doesn't matter what message you are going to share, but make sure it should not impact your stage, your inner stability, your firm faith. I mean, people who are against me, who are not going to listen to me, they should not have any power to shake my or change my perspective or my stability. Am I correct?
Yes, definitely. That is what Baba wants us. And same thing I can correlate even with my example. Once it so happened that there was a huge gathering of my family, and they wanted to insist me to do marriage. And we were sitting in a atmosphere of a wedding. We were there into someone else's wedding, and since I decided not to marry, all of them had a plan that today we will be forcing Praful that why Praful does not want to marry, or what is it that everybody came so much prepared, giving examples of some other institutions, what happens if you don't marry, and they had a huge list. And somewhere down the line they had in mind that they will be convincing me. But as you mentioned, that if you have a firm thought and if your stage is very nice, people will not able to change you. So while they were giving some arguments, with the stage I acknowledged them. It was not that I was going against them. At the same time, probably Baba helped me, keeping my mood cheerful, keeping myself pleasant and light. And that is what actually made a difference. Probably they were not convinced with my knowledge. Uh, some of them are still not yet convinced. But when they saw the clarity in my mind, when they saw the kind of stage which I am into, when they could see that maturity with the decision which I'm taking it, they realized, and then they told Praful, whatever you do, probably we are not understanding now, but we are sure that whatever you're doing, that will really cause a great difference for you, and you are probably on the right path. We are not getting that thing right now, but go ahead. So when I introspected, I just found that I didn't really give them a very big good argument, that or maybe giving a rationally cutting off their points, but the inner stage which probably I was able to maintain, Baba might have helped me, of course. That is something which really brought that difference in spite of they being against me. And this works anywhere. I just shared an example because this came to my mind. So this will, I think this will be relevant anywhere, in whatever service we do. May that be not even giving Baba's knowledge, even if we do Lokik Seva, if our stage is of that awake stage or settled stage which Baba is referring, that will create more difference than the content which we give otherwise.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. So from now on, I will try my best to understand and put in practice into my lifestyle. I am just starting. I'm almost a new student in your group, and all of you are experienced, highly professional scholar, and I'm so happy that I am in your class and I'm learning a lot from everyone. Thank you, Brother Om Shanti Ji.
Om Shanti. Tejaswini Benji.
Om Shanti, brother. Today in the Murli, Baba spoke about making the atmosphere subtle, that is subtle influence. and we have to create this prior to the confidence. Can you give more clarity on this? And Baba also tells that once we purify the atmosphere, newness will be visible. What newness is that? Like, is it that we have something in our mind which we need to create, or which is unknown? I just wanted to know these things.
What do you think, sister? Based on the Murli which we listen, what kind of newness Baba was mentioning? Let me give you a hint. Baba was comparing the conference with the Lokik conference or with other conferences versus a different kind of conference. So what kind of newness do you think should Baba be referring to? Any thoughts?
Newness, maybe the whatever we are trying to convey, it should go to the audience. Is something like that?
Yes, that can be, but that is more a part of the speech thing. That anyways we are having a content in the speech and we will be giving that new thing. But Baba was going beyond that.
Or is it that catching the attention of the audience?
Yes, that is the true thing, but not by way of extrovism. That hey, hello, everybody, please pay attention.
Okay.
Not that kind of attention. But yeah, let's take inputs from others. Even I'll share something.
Sure.
Would anybody would like to add on what kind of newness Baba is referring here in this Murli?
Baba is talking here today about everybody getting the experience of they're listening to someone who is speaking and there's no body there. The bodiless stage is what Baba is mentioning in today's Murli about what experience others should get when they're listening to speakers who have their top stage.
Yes, very right. Let me just elaborate on that before we go to Girjaben. So, often when we see a speech in the Lokik scenario, so there is so much of body movement. They wear so much of glamorous clothes. They do so much of voice modulation, and we just probably see here बहुत अच्छा बोलते हैं, and they are speaking so nice and things like that. But Baba is going beyond body, so he's telling that they should experience the bodiless stage. So the participants should experience such a way that they don't think that such and such person is speaking, or how beautiful that person is, how handsome the person is on the stage. No, what newness could be that we just felt that we are nowhere. That kind of experience, that kind of newness is something which Baba is referring to this in this Murli. Yes, Grijaben, add on to that.
Yeah, for me, no sooner I took the knowledge, I was blessed with service. But I used to do any kind of service, even if it was arranging the chairs or even if it was the pictures. I used to find something, I don't know, in each of that I found, what if somebody likes this place? What if somebody likes this? Let me do. And I believed in what you said was given to me by the seniors, that the atmosphere where you go is absolutely important. The atmosphere, what you have, you are going there and you are conducting a service. So what was the atmosphere before that? So that thing of purifying. But the newness which you mentioned was there. It has always happened in a service. We used to put a lot of chairs and everything, but we used to see, oh, let's see how many people are coming, and all those kind of things. But rarely anyone came. But somewhere there were some people whom we have not invited, who was not even part of it. They just came, walked in. So we didn't even look at them, but it was those people who have made a lot of difference. So that was something else which attracted them. They were going elsewhere. They didn't, I think they don't even know that what was Rajyoga or something, but I've seen they were attracted to that. So they found, then we used to ask them, they said, oh, we found here something different. We found here a kind of a feeling. So I felt that before we start, if we are able to bring that feeling in a person, that this is not just a meditation session, this is something different. So to create that stage, I think I felt something different than a Lokik. It's very easy to create a Lokik speaker. We'll ask them to register, we'll ask them to do this. We'll say, please take up your seats, otherwise seats will be full. There are so many ways we could attract Lokik speakers. But over here, it wasn't like this. That didn't work. That system didn't work. Register yourself and all. And maybe if that speaker was a very well-known speaker, they may register. But what did they carry with them? What I was able to give them, it depends upon what did I do in the beginning? What was my intention? Did I start it being to reveal Baba or to reveal, hello, we are a very good center. We are doing very good service. So did I reveal Baba or did I speak everything as a messenger of God? I think that always was my priority whenever I tried to take part in service. Om Shanti.
Wonderful. Thanks, sister. And I see on the chat that nice comments some people are sharing. Speaking less should in itself perform a great task. Okay, so it is not that we keep on speaking, and that is also something newness we can bring, that the lesser we speak, but how powerful or how influential that thing is, that we touch the hearts. And somebody is mentioning newness in thoughts, words, and actions. And someone is mentioning success is not dependent on the lectures, but on your stage. Yes, very true. So thanks. I think we are short of time. And yes, but this Murli is really a very nice tool for us to reflect. I would really encourage everyone to read this Murli whenever we plan a service idea. Even I thought to do that myself, because these were the things that even I didn't really focus on these days. Although we know in a subtle stage, but when we read the Murli and then go ahead, that will create a very good impact. So before Om, would you like to add on any last?
Yeah, just one small point. Baba says that
Om, you are on mute. I don't know. Did you?
Om
Can you unmute
Om
yourself?
Shanti. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
बाबा ने कहा कि कनरस सुनाने वाले तो बहुत हैं, लेकिन मनरस देने वाले अब तक दुनिया में कोई नहीं है. तो आई थिंक दैट इज द न्यूनेस, मनरस, यानी द पावर, द डाइट. There is a one diet for the body, there is a diet for the soul. This diet for the soul is what Baba talks about, the newness, which is the foundation for the success of any conversation or any conference or any gathering, where the speaker speaks from the bodiless stage, and then that bodiless stage, it feels the powers from the supreme soul and distributes those powers in the atmosphere, which any weaker soul can actually experience and get empowered, and then feel all those eternal virtues. I think that is the newness. Om Shanti.
Thanks. Rakibin, any announcement you have before we start? Yes.
So this Sunday for the buffer day, we have Dr. Manoj Bhai, who would be taking us through the deep jewels of the Murli that we studied yesterday, which is 22nd of January 1969. And while we are doing that manthan on Sunday, we'll also visit on spiritual importance of Diwali, or what is the spiritual essence of celebrating Diwali. So we would recommend, to get the best out of this session, do read this Murli before we attend this session on Sunday. Om Shanti.
Okay, thank you. So let us pause for a minute. I am a soul, master of my body. And I just reflect, what is that one newness which I will bring today to the service which I perform? We we all can think of one newness. It need not be conference, it could be even anything we do in Lokik. Maybe cleaning up house, preparing food, office task, it could be anything. But today I will do that same task with some newness based on Baba's Murli. So let us decide what one newness I can bring. It may not be a very big thing, it can be a small change as well. And then now tell Baba about your thought that Baba, I will be doing this task with the added fragrance of so and so thing. And as you tell Baba, Baba is giving you blessings. Baba is having his hands of blessings on our head. And Baba is telling us that, my dear child, I am with you. And with that energy from Baba, I am prepared for my today's task, today's activity. Thanks to you, Baba, for giving us such an enlightenment from this Murli. Om Shanti. Thank you, everyone. Good day.